Hello and welcome to the Grand Prix World Series. My name is Topher Smith and today we are in La Plata in Argentina for round 3 of season 5 of this highly competitive championship. We've had 2 incredible rounds of this season already with 4 different winners from 4 different teams across the 4 races we've had so far in season 5. And as always, we will kick off proceedings with the League 2 action, but let's remind ourselves of how the championship standings look heading into today. Earl Bamber has 2 second places in 2 races so far and sits top of the standings on 36 points in the Jaguar. Jamie Chadwick, our race winner from the season opener in Aruba, second in the championship on 27 points, retired from the last round of Campo Grande, so was unable to add to her points tally. Yaya Fei picked up his first victory last time out and shot up to third in the standings as a result on 26 points. Shane van Gisbergen in the Ducati, 4th on 20 points ahead of Julian Andlauer on 18. Marcus Ericsson and Mitch Evans have 15 points each, while rounding out the top 10, Nick Tandy in the Cupra Kiro, Zane Maloney in the Ford and Sho Suboi in the Mazda. Looking at the team standings, Lola and Jaguar tied on points at the top, 42 points each for Marcus Johansson and Mike Smith's teams. Ducati sitting 7 points behind in third on 35 points. Lancia 4th on 27 ahead of Zach Speed on 22. Cupra Kiro 6th on 13 ahead of Ford, Mazda, 40 Corsa, Chip Ganassi and Toyota, the only other teams to score points so far, while Iron Dames and Pacific yet to get off the mark this season, but plenty of opportunities left for them to pick up some points this season. Only one driver change to make note of for today's League 2 race, and that comes at the Chip Ganassi team. Jordan Taylor banned from this race after being disqualified from the Campo Grande Grand Prix, and he has been replaced by his brother Ricky Taylor, the reserve driver at the Chip Ganassi team, getting his race debut in the Grand Prix World Series here today. But how has Ricky Taylor got on in qualifying? Well, let's take a look at the qualifying results for today's League 2 race. And on pole position is Earl Bamber, our championship leader in the Jaguar, 0.2 of a second ahead of Mitch Evans and Shane van Gisbergen, the 2 Ducatis there, making it an all-New Zealander top 3 on the grid today. Louis Delatraz 4th in the 40 Corsa ahead of Jamie Chadwick, our race winner from the Caribbean Grand Prix. Marcus Ericsson puts both Lolas into the top 6 ahead of Nick Tandy. Yaya Fei, our race winner last time, is 8th, while Julian Andlauer and Roman De Angelis round out the top 10. Joseph Newgarden 11th in the Jaguar, not quite been able to match the pace of his Jaguar teammates so far this season, but will be looking to move up the order into the points here today. Sergio Sette Camara 12th in the Cupra Kiro ahead of Joe Guan Yu in the Toyota. Ritomo Miata 14th, Felipe Drogovic 15th. Nick De Vries puts both Toyotas in the top 16. Sho Suboi, Callum Ilott, Zane Maloney and Ricky Taylor rounding out the top 20. Ricky Taylor qualifying 20th on his debut today. And at the back of the grid, Jolyon Palmer, Paul Aron, Dennis Hauger, Carl Kirkwood and the 2 Iron Dames of Jessica Hawkins and Miki Koyama. Koyama, the only driver not to qualify within a second of Bamber's pole time. So Earl Bamber looking for his first victory of the season as he looks to consolidate his championship lead. Mitch Evans and Shane van Gisbergen behind him looking to secure their first ever Grand Prix World Series victory. How is this one going to play out? We're going to head over to the commentary box where Tom Cairns is ready and waiting to call the action. So Tom, let's get started.
It's 2 podiums from 2 for Jaguar, but the first victory still eludes them. Earl Bamber looks to change that here today in La Plata, Argentina. The firing lights are coming on now. Lights are on. Lights off. It's go. And Earl Bamber leads away ahead of the Ducati of Mitch Evans, and Shane van Gisbergen slots in behind his teammates to head into turn 1, which will be a chicane to begin with. And Earl Bamber gets through there, no problem whatsoever. So it's Bamber who leads, Evans is second, it's Van Gisbergen. Jamie Chadwick is in 4th place for Lola, and it's her teammate Marcus Ericsson in 5th. Roman De Angelis in the Lancia is in 6th place, followed by Louis Delatraz, Nick De Vries, Sergio Sette Camara and Nick Tandy, both Cupra Kiros inside the top 10. We see a move from Shane van Gisbergen on his teammate Mitch Evans, not quite finding a way through just yet. So the top 3 remain in the same positions as they were on the grid. One driver who's had a torrid start is Louis Delatraz, who was 4th on the grid, down to 7th position already. So they are coming round the course. 11 corners it is around this 4.6 kilometre racetrack of La Plata. Bamba is coming around the last corner now, the long sweeping right-hander before the pit straight. And he will end the first lap in the lead. And he's built up a lead of over a second on the two Ducatis. And we got an off. That is Shane Maloney in the gravel. And he's hit the barrier violently, and his race has come to a premature close. And he's come together with one of the Iron Danes. And I wonder if that may have been Jess Hawkins that he came together with entering the last turn. It was, in fact, Miki Koyama. I wonder if Maloney already had damage before he came together with the Iron Danes. So Miki Koyama is out of the race, as is Shane Maloney. And if there's anyone going to take any form of punishment for that, it's probably going to be the Ford driver. Maloney retires, as does Miki Koyama. Both of which are out on the spot before the first lap is out. I'll wait for the verdict from the stewards. In what they make of that, I think we should expect the inevitable here, and it's a disqualification and a one-race ban for Shane Maloney. And we've got another collision involving the Lola and the Ducati. Shane van Gisbergen colliding there with Jamie Chadwick, and that was almost curtains for the pair of them. And this was down at the hairpin there, or the left-hander of turn number 5. And Chadwick did very well to stay behind Van Gisbergen despite colliding, otherwise she would have picked up a penalty for that. No further action is going to be taken by the stewards. And we see Mitch Evans in second place. He picks up his first podium in the Grand Prix Series. Last time out in Campo Grande. It was Ducati's first podium in only their second Grand Prix Series race. Sam Hull in charge of the team. He hopes that that is a sign of things to come for him. Aiming for an immediate turn to League One. And we see Chadwick and Delachaz fighting it. I think that might be Marcus Ericsson actually. Or is that Chadwick? No, it is Chadwick. Getting through on Shane van Gisbergen on the inside into turn 1. And that's her through into third position. And an engine blow up. And Ford's race is about to come to a close on lap number 3. Felipe Drugovich out in the Ford. And what a miserable race it has been already for Lewis Bastondale. Maloney in the barrier at the end of lap 1. Drugovich out at turn 1 with an engine blow up on lap number 3. And Ford so far have had a mixed start to the season. They've managed to score points in both races. Similarly, got a 6th place finish in Aruba, and Felipe Drugovich picks up a 9th place finish in Campo Grande. So they are on 10 points. 7th in the standings coming into this round, but I think it's unlikely that they will remain there. You can see fastest laps exchanging with Jamie Chadwick now holding the fastest lap point. We're seeing more changes in the field. I think Sergio Sette Camera has got through ahead of Nick de Vries for 8th position. And Yi Yiffy has moved into the points now in 10th place, the race winner in Campo Grande. You see a battle for P11. There is Joseph Newgard ahead of Nick Tandy and Julian Andlauer. So they'll make their way through turn number 5. Behind Andlauer is the Pacific of Calamirlot, the League 2 Drivers' Champion of Season 4. He's had a rather torrid time of it so far since he's joined the team. He's headed up by Kevin McMullen. And Ilott has got the Mazda of Rito Miata, who's yet to get off the mark this season. And there's an engine blow up for the other Zach speed of Paul Aron. That's the 4th driver out of the race, and he's been hit from behind by Dennis Hauger, who's nudged him off the circuit. Let me see the blow up ahead. Smoke screen for the Norwegian. Now, could he have avoided that? I would say yes, in my opinion. We'll see what the stewards say. But either way, it's race over for Paul Aron. And it's Zach Speed's first retirement for either car this season. We've got El Bamba in the pits at the end of lap 1. Bamba is in the pits with a problem. We'll find out exactly what that is. And I wonder if he's picked up damage early on in the lap. Has the Joker, because it's not shown up on the graphic that he has picked up some form of mechanical issue. I wonder if he's gone over the curves as El Bamba and wrecked his front wing. And that's forced him into the pit lane at the end of lap number 4. So we've got a new race leader of Mitch Evans for Ducati ahead of Jamie Chadwick. Louis Delatraz is in 3rd place now, with Marcus Ericsson 4th and Shane van Gisbergen in 5th. Bamba drops to 22nd and last place. I didn't quite see whether Dennis Hauger picked up a penalty. And we've got another engine blow up. Is that Shane van Gisbergen behind, who's picked up a problem? We're right on board with one of the Lolas there. I'm sure it's Shane van Gisbergen. No, it's Louis Delatraz. Louis Delatraz is the one in trouble. And he's going to be out of the race. Torrid lot there for team manager Dave Goddard. This is unbelievable. What an unbelievable start to the race we're having here in La Plata. And we've got another retirement. Ritomo Miata is out. Another non-finish for Ritomo Miata. He is not having a good start to the season, is he? Suspension problems sidelining the Japanese. And we're going to see Delatraz pulling onto the grass in a moment. So we've got 2 Lolas in the top 3 now. And Delatraz is still yet to get off the circuit. There goes Newgarden. There goes Anlower. Shu Suboy's in the pits. And the Pacific has collided with the 40 and they're both off the racetrack. Kalamila is the one that's collided with Delatraz. And this is insane. And that will be under investigation for sure. Now, can Kalamila get out of the gravel trap? Shu Suboy has come into the pits for Mazda. And no, he's on. He's gone as Kalamila. He's out. And I think Delatraz may end up being hit with a punishment here. It'll probably be a disqualification and a race ban for him as well. And it is a disqualification and a 1 race ban for Louis Delatraz. And he's out of the next race, which is in Indianapolis in a couple of weeks' time. Safety Andrews running in 5th. Not any longer because he's moved in front of Shane van Gisbergen for 4th place now in the Lancia. What a chaotic start to the Lead 2 La Plata Grand Prix. And Kyle Kirkwood is the next to go in to the pits in the Chip Ganassi. I suppose it's been a blessing for El Bamba in a way because there's not as many cars that which he needs to repass in order to get back to the front. I think he will get back into the points. It's a long way to go yet in this race. So we've got Kalamila that's out. Louis Delatraz is out. Ritomo Miata is out. We've also lost Paul Aron. And we're going to be losing El Bamba. After being in the pits, his engine has expired. And it's unlikely that El Bamba is going to stay in the lead of the Drivers' Championship after this round. Another one bites the dust. I am actually beginning to lose count as to how many retirements we've got now. So we've got El Bamba that's out of the race. We've also lost Kalamila. We've lost Louis Delatraz. We've lost Ritomo Miata. We've lost Paul Aron. We've lost Felipe Drogovic. We've lost Shane Maloney. And we've lost Miki Koyama. And Cho Kwon Yu has also gone up in flames in the Toyota. We're only on lap 8. We've got 9 drivers out. We are down to 17 runners. And for those who have been struggling for points this season so far, I've got a golden opportunity to get some today. But it's race over for Shoguan Yu. That's 3 races and 3 non-finishes for the Chinese driver. Well, battle for 7th place here between the Cooper Kiro and the Lancia. And Sergio Setecamera is defending here from Yi Yufi. And Yufi remaining behind for now. Now we're right on board with race leader Mitch Evans, who's less than a second clear over Jamie Chadwick in 2nd place. And there was Stefan Gisbergen fighting it out with Roman De Angelis. So it's Chikatsi leading Lola, leading Lancia, leading Chikatsi, leading Toyota. Nick de Vries running in a brilliant 6th place so far for Michael Gillespie's team. Then Sergio Setecamera in the Cooper Kiro in 7th. And it's the Lancia of Yigifi 8th. Cooper Kiro of Nick Tandy in 9th. And it's the Saxon of Julian Anlauer in 10th. Jess Hawkins running wide there. Iron Dames have yet to get off the mark this season. Looking at where everyone has started, I have to say those at the back of the field. Jess Hawkins off. Oh, Chadwick's off! Chadwick is off in the Lola! What has happened to Jamie Chadwick? She's also gone from the race! Casualty number 10 on lap number 10. Jamie Chadwick retires from the lead to La Plata Grand Prix, and it's no points for her either. That allows Marcus Ericsson, her teammate, to go up into 2nd place. De Angelis now 3rd, who's yet to get a point via a finishing position so far. As remember, De Angelis, he did pick up the fast lap point in Campo Grande last time out. I'm sure he'll want the bigger chunk of points in the near future. Sho Suboi is in 15th place now. One driver who's making his debut in this round is Ricky Taylor, who is running in a fine 12th position so far. He's substituting for his older brother Jordan, as Jordan picked up a race ban for his part in the incident with Jess Hawkins in Campo Grande. Ricky is in the car this time around. See Ericsson getting the gap down a little bit to Evans. The gap is 4 seconds as we speak. Now, I'm not trying to jinx this, but I believe the least number of cars to finish a Grand Prix World Series race is 5, or at least 6. Well, no, it's at least 5, which I think came in the League 2 Adelaide Grand Prix. That was where Adrian Sutil had won for HRT. I am worried as to how many finishes we are actually going to get here. And we had 6 finishes in the League 2 Adelaide Grand Prix, which is the least number of finishes in a Grand Prix Series race of all time. Sho Suboi running in 15th position. And we see Setecamera here, locking up ahead of his teammate Nick Tandy. We're on lap 12 out of 50. Around this 4.6 kilometre circuit of La Plata. The circuit is otherwise known as the Autodromo Roberto Jose Moras. First opened in 1996. It's host to the TC Moras and TC Pickup Series. In case you're wondering what those series are, the TC Moras is a stock car racing series in Argentina, and the TC Pickup is a truck racing series. It's previously hosted the Turismo Carretera, the Turismo Nacional, the TC2000, the Top Race V6, and the SAS TC. And the last one I've just mentioned is a touring car series, in case you're wondering. So Julian and Lara running a 9th position in the Sax Speed, who are looking to continue the long run of points finishes. You have to go all the way back to the League 2 Indianapolis Grand Prix in Season 4, the last time they didn't score at all. 15 races on the bounce, they've scored points. They've lost one of their drivers in this race. Paul Aron is already out of it. Julian Anlo is still going in 9th position, just ahead of Joseph Newgarden. And answering the question about the incident involving Aron and Hauger, no action was taken, so Hauger does not pick up any form of penalty involving that. Not too far away from pit stops, bearing in mind we don't have too many cars left in this. But he's seen a pit stop now at the end of lap 13, and Marcus Ericsson has come in. That's quite early, actually, compared to maybe what the projected pit window was. Joseph Newgarden also coming in. So he's not alone, is Ericsson. And there goes Nick Tandy on Sergio Sette camera, which is for 6th place on circuit. Ericsson will rejoin in 13th position. Newgarden will rejoin in 14th. Not sure how much time you need for a pit stop around La Plata. Jamie Chadwick does have the point for the fast lap right now, so I'll take my word back a little bit saying that she won't be scoring points, but I don't think she'll keep hold of it. I reckon that someone else will snatch that away from her before the race is over. We've got a pit stop now over at Ducati, and Evans is in, as is Roman De Angelis. Shane van Gisbergen takes the lead of the race. Nick de Vries goes up into 2nd place, albeit for a brief moment, because Yi Yiffy is alongside him into turn 1, and Yiffy goes through. De Vries drops to 3rd place then. Now, does Evans get out in front of Ericsson? Should do. He was running about 4 seconds ahead of him before they came in for their first stops. And Ericsson remains behind Mitch Evans on this occasion. I think you probably need about 25 or 26 seconds for a pit stop round La Plata, if not more than that. Given how this race has gone so far, if you do finish, you are likely to be scoring points. And that includes Suboy, who's already been in prematurely for a stop in the Mazda. And Yiffy is in the pits now, as is Nick de Vries and Julian Anlauer. In fact, 5 drivers in the pits. Dennis Hauger and Jess Hawkins are also in. Now Van Gisbergen, Tandy, Sette Camera, Palmer and Taylor are the drivers at the head of the field who haven't stopped yet. Dennis Hauger he's said that he was in, didn't I? So, but the Cooper Kiros were remaining out there with Nick Tandy ahead of Sergio Sette Camera, which is interesting. There you go, Show Suboy on Dennis Hauger. Hauger should be able to respond, given that Suboy is on older tyres compared to the 40. It's been a brilliant race so far for Ducati, on course for a really strong result here. number of retirements have stalled over the last 5 or 6 laps. There is Tandy in second place, aiming to get to the end. Hoping to build on his reasonable start to the season. 4th place finish in Aruba and a 13th place finish in Campo Grande, which wasn't the best result, but there's more to come from Cooper Kiro, which are headed up by Ed Hunter, aiming to improve from where the ashes of Real have been left off. As they are. Shane van Gisbergen will move into the lead of the Drivers' Championship, but he's still yet to make his first stop of the race. Nick Tandy is the latest to head for pit road, as is Julian Palmer in the Pacific. And there we see Suboy and Hauger nearly coming together. Thankfully they keep it on the island. Round the last corner, the right-hander. So the 40 is about to make his way past. There is Van Gisbergen in P1 right now. The man from New Zealand who had disappointed in his first campaign for Manor, which led to their team's demise to League 2. They've rebranded under the guise of Ducati, with Sam Hall in charge of it all. Van Gisbergen does come in at the end of lap 17, and Sergio Sette Camera is also making his way into the pits. What about Ricky Taylor? Does he stay out there? No, he's in as well for Chip Ganassi. So it feels like the field are all going to be doing 2 stops in this one. You're not going to be seeing those trying to do the 1. Now we see the field coming down the pit straight. They will take from Nick Tandy by the looks of it on Joseph Newgarden into turn 1. So he makes his way through. One thing that's worth noting is the downforce setups that the teams have gone for this particular round. Pacific have gone for maximum top speed, Sax Speed have gone for mid top speed, 40 have gone for neutral, Lola have gone for maximum downforce, Lancia have gone for a neutral setup, Ducati have gone for mid top speed, Jaguar have gone for maximum top speed, Chip Ganassi have gone for mid downforce, Toyota have gone for maximum top speed, Iron Danes have gone for neutral, Ford have gone for mid downforce, Cooper Kiro have gone for maximum top speed, and Mazda have gone for mid top speed. So each of the 5 setups at least one team is using, which is the first time this season we've seen. The gap at the front between Evans and Ericsson is just under 2 seconds. Still seeing some battles on circuit. Nick de Vries, the only Toyota left in the race, going for it. Is that Joseph Newgarden that's just been overtaken? I think that was the Sax Speed. Sorry, my apologies. I thought it was a Toyota. Look identical actually to the Toyota and the Sax Speed, thinking of it. But that was actually Julian Anlower going through on Joseph Newgarden for 7th place. So the 15 drivers in the field now, separated by 25 seconds. Two teams have yet to score points so far this season. They are Iron Danes and Pacific. Dennis Hauger running wide That was over at turn number 4, I believe. He just run right there. Oh, it might have been turn 9, thinking of it. So there's a left-hander turn 7 before the sweeping right-hander before the pit straight. Valgri's still going in the 40. We're looking at Yiyifi in 10th place as the Cooper Kiro goes through. Sergio sets a camera on Joseph Newgarden, and Joe Zubai comes into the pits. That's his first scheduled stop of the race. He dropped to 15th and last position though. Or 16th rather, because Kyle Kirkwood is still in the race. I forgot about Kirkwood, thinking of it. Chip Ganassi are on 2 points coming into this round in their maiden season in the Grand Prix Series, one of 9 new teams. Mitch Evans is the race leader for Ducati, who are in their first season. Lola have been around in the Grand Prix Series since the championship's inception 5 years ago now. It must feel like a long time ago. It feels longer than 5 years. Van Gisbergen is under attack here from Julian Anlauer. This is the fight for 6th position. Kyle Kirkwood has come into the pits for Chip Ganassi. I don't know whether he'll try and go to the end. He picks in a lap after Sho Suboy. Right on board with Nick de Vries in a promising 4th place for Toyota. They could do with this result. The upgrade window does open after this round. We've got the League 1 race still to come here. For those who are new to the Grand Prix Series, how it works is there are 2 leagues. You're watching the League 2 race right now. The League 1 race will come later. The top 3 teams at the end of the season from League 2 will go up to League 1 for Season 6. And in contrast, the bottom 3 teams in League 1 will go down to League 2. We are only at round 3 of 18. Would have been to Aruba and Campo Grande already. We're at La Plata today. It's off to Indianapolis in the US, Rockingham in the UK, Dijon-Bourgogne in France is the venue for round 6. Then it's Jerez in Spain, Mugello in Italy, and Hockenheim in Germany, which will mark the midpoint in the season and a chance for the mid-season test, where the team's reserve and test drivers will get a go in the car, which could see them on the grid in the near future. The second half of the season begins in Poznan in Poland, Brno in the Czech Republic, Parnu in Estonia, there's Marrakesh in Morocco for round 13, Kyalami in South Africa, New Delhi in India, Fuji, Japan, Sepang in Malaysia, and the 18th and final championship round of the season will be in Adelaide, Australia. Following that will be the non-championship Macau Grand Prix, involving the 13 highest scoring teams across the 2 leagues. With the first round of pit stops done and dusted, we've got a second round of pit stops still to come. Mitch Evans will move into the lead of the championship, and we've got a retirement over I.M. Danes, and Jess Hawkins is sadly not going to be finishing this time. She crashed out in the early stages in Campo Grande last time out, and it's also going to be curtains for her here. They really need to get some points on the board, and they've got none so far. You can see the car ripping to shreds as she hits the gravel. And that's the latest driver to retire with gearbox problems. Well, lap 25 of the race now. Mitch Evans' lead is still 2 seconds. move from Ricky Taylor on Joseph Newgarden for 11th place. Newgarden's fallen out of the points now. It's not gone to plan here for Jaguar. Remember, already pulling out of the race. We'll see Sergio sets the camera, who's behind Julian Anlauer for position. Kyle Kirkwood, who's only just been in the pits. He's almost a lap down on the leaders. We've got 15 drivers left in the race. We've got 11 out already. Right, have a look at the Lancia. This is Julian Palmer, who we're seeing now, is in the points in 10th. Behind him are the Jaguar and the Chip Ganassi. There goes Julian Palmer on Shane van Gisbergen, who is really struggling as we speak. I think we saw an overtake also involving Sergio sets a camera on Julian Anlauer for 6th position. To the second half of the race we are now. There's Kyle Kirkwood, who is doing his best to keep his car on the circuit. And he scored points once in his career in the Grand Prix Series so far. That came with Arrows last season. He's having a troublesome time of it so far for Chip Ganassi. This is Kyle Kirkwood's 9th start in this series. Mitch Evans is competing in his 19th. On board with Sergio sets the camera. Julian Palmer comes into the pits. It wasn't too long since he came in, you know, for Julian. So one of he's picked up a problem of some sort. It's forced him into the pits now. He'll drop to 13th position ahead of Sho Suboi. Van Gisbergen and Yi Yiffy have swapped places, and we're going to see why in a moment. And the Lancia is on fire. The race winner of Campo Grande is out of the race. Yi Yiffy off the circuit and pulls out. And that's casualty number 12. To Marcus Ericsson running in a fine 2nd place, and we're going to see a potential change in position for 4th place. Nick Tandy going for it on Nick de Vries into turn 1, and Tandy is through into 4th place. Nicely done by the Brit. Just 14 drivers left in the race now. We can see Mitch Evans is coming up to lap his first back marker, which is Kyle Kirkwood. Kirkwood will have to adhere to the blue flags. Evans won't want to be stopped behind the Chip Ganassi. Shane van Gisbergen is up into 9th place again. He's still got Ricky Taylor right behind, who fancies it. You can see he's all over the back. Van Gisbergen has struggled on his 2nd stint. There we see, sets the camera on Julian Anlauer for 6th place. There's Roman D'Angelo's having a better race of it so far. Go back to sets the camera, who's going through on Anlauer for 6th place, and the move is successfully done. see Ericsson closing in on Evans, who is still stuck behind Kyle Kirkwood's a lap. Look at Show Suboi in 13th. We just want to get to the end of this now. He's not in a fight with anyone as we speak. Mitch Evans. Ericsson's got the gap down to 1.4 seconds. And there goes Evans on Kirkwood. He's not lost too much time, thankfully. So we await the second round of pit stops. The gap was 4 seconds between Evans and Ericsson before the first round had started. Ricky Taylor has come into the pits for Chip Ganassi. He'll probably rejoin behind Jolyon Palmer, but will remain in front of Show Suboi. And Ericsson is stuck behind Kyle Kirkwood here. He won't want to be stuck behind him for too long here. They'll be coming onto the pit straight in a moment. Oh, and Ericsson running too deep. He'll be annoyed with that. And that was because Kyle Kirkwood got in the way. In fact, he's going into the pits is Ericsson, as is DeAngelis. So this is an attempt of an undercut from Lola and Lancia. What will this mean for Mitch Evans? Will he come in at the end of the next lap? Ericsson leaves the pits, as does DeAngelis. Dennis Hauger has got through on Ericsson, which will not help the Swede. His attempt to go for his first victory since the League 2 San Carlos Grand Prix. That was the day when Fomitel clinched their first team's championship in League 2 anyway. And there goes Ericsson on Hauger. He's not hanging around at all. Although Hauger is not making it easy and he's fighting back. He is allowed to do that. They are racing for position. Now, did they collide through the corners here? No, I think it was a genuine battle for position. But all of this is costing Ericsson time. And DeAngelis is looming in behind. Ericsson all over the back of Hauger, who wants to just get his first points of the season here. As they enter the last turn. Now, what does Evans do? Evans has stayed out. And Ericsson, well, he's stuck behind Hauger. He's been stuck behind him for too long. He's heading through, or so he thinks. He should have the inside line here, and he does go through at last. Does Marcus Ericsson into 8th place on circuit. Next driver ahead of him will be Shane van Gisbergen. Oh, and that is DeAngelis running wide. That was at turn number 4, and he did very, very well to not sustain any damage by running wide like that. That could have been curtains for Chris Cafferty's team altogether. It's handy. Second place. Evans is in. Now he had a lead around about 2 seconds. Did Evans? I think he'll remain in the lead because Ericsson lost too much time being stuck behind Dennis Hauger after he came out of the pits. Nick Tandy takes the lead for now. Mr. Freeze goes up into 2nd place and Sergio Setagamru is 3rd. Evans will rejoin in front of his teammate Shane van Gisbergen. as Roman De Angelis get through here on Dennis Hauger, no problem. Got the inside, and that's the Lancia ahead. Now the gap between Evans and Ericsson as we speak, it says it's just under 6 seconds, but we're waiting for these sector times to update. I think the gap is around about 4.5 seconds between the pair. Right on board with Sergio Sette Camera. He's behind Nick de Vries for second place on track. They are due into the pits, those two anyway, as is Nick Tandy, and behind those two is the sack speed of Julian Anlower. And there goes Nick de Vries, who comes in. Sergio Sette Camera likewise. Oh, and de Vries had to slow down a little bit there. I think that was because of Sette Camera pitted him just ahead of him. Could be a battle of the pit stops over at Toyota and Cooper Kiro. There's Anlower in second place. Ericsson's around about a couple of seconds behind Shane van Gisbergen. De Vries rejoins in 8th position on circuit, and Sette Camera is in 9th. Evans in P3. Behind Evans is van Gisbergen. We'll have Ericsson for company. There they are. Evans goes through the last corner, and Nick Tandy is in along with Julian Anlower. So Evans takes back his customary position at the front, and we should see Ericsson get into the slipstream before completing his manoeuvre on Shane van Gisbergen for second place. It's not close enough actually, and I think van Gisbergen may well be doing his teammate a favour here by holding Ericsson up. Dennis Hauger is also in for 40. He'll drop out of the points. And Sette Camera is in front of de Vries now for position. And Sette Camera through into 7th position. And there is the reason why. Such horrible luck for Michael Gillespie. Nick de Vries retires after being towards the top end for so long. He looked good for a 4th place finish, but engine melodies have deprived them of that. De Vries is out of the race with 16 laps to go. It's not going to be any points again for Toyota here. And Ericsson's really stuck now behind van Gisbergen, and that is going to draw him into the clutches of Roman De Angelis. 13 drivers left in the race now. Kyle Kirkwood running in 13th and last place. But at least both he and Ricky Taylor are still going. Ricky Taylor inside the points, looking good for a championship point in 10th. And there goes Dennis Hauger on Zhou Zuboy for position. This is for 11th place, and that's the Norwegian past the Japanese. Evans in the lead, looking good for his first Grand Prix World Series win in his 19th attempt. Now his best finish beforehand was a 3rd place last time out in Campo Grande. And there goes Ericsson on Shane van Gisbergen. There goes Ericsson on the Kiwi, and that's him through at last. How long will it take for Roman De Angelis to get through as well? Van Gisbergen was to come in now, he would lose at least 7 positions. He'll probably fall down to 10th place. That's going to leave him an awful amount of work to do, so it's probably not worth pitting now. Both Ducatis are on course for a real good haul of points here. Bamber won't be scoring. Chadwick is on course for the fast lap point, but she's not going to be moving into the lead of the championship. Yiffy isn't going to be scoring either. Van Gisbergen, if he was to remain in 3rd place, he'll go up into 2nd position in the Drivers' Championship. Mitch Evans will move into the lead with the race win. Though Earl Bamber, by getting that fast lap pole position point, he'll move on to 37, but he won't be in the championship lead. It'll be Mitch Evans going into the lead on 40 points, with Bamber in 2nd place on 37, and Van Gisbergen in 3rd place on 35. In 4th position will be Marcus Ericsson on 33. It really is opening up in League 2 this season. In the Teams Championship, Lola will remain ahead. Well, I say Lola. Lola will remain in front of Jaguar, with Ericsson still on course for a 2nd place finish. If Ducati was to finish 1st and 3rd, they will move on to 75 points, and Lola at the moment are only coming away with 19, which will put them on to 61. So it'll be Ducati into the lead of the Teams Championship. We're about to see an overtake from Roman De Angelis on Shane Van Gisbergen. Angelis alongside enough, he is, and he's going through into 3rd position. So Lancia are on course for a podium after all. Ericsson looking good. His 2nd podium of the season. Ericsson has finished on the podium 10 times in his Grand Prix Series career. He's had 1 already for Lola. Picks up a handful, or loads, for Von Mattel in Season 3. Nick Tandy, who's running in 5th position, is on course for a real strong result here today. He's already finished 4th in Aruba. 5th place it will be for him today, the way things are going. And there's an engine blow up. And who's that that's blown up? It's Roman De Angelis in 3rd place in the Lancia, who'd only just got by Shane Van Gisbergen a lap ago. After the race win in Campo Grande, Chris Cavani is not going to see either of his drivers finishing here. It's a double retirement for the 2nd time in 3 races for Lancia. Roman De Angelis retires. Out of the race he goes. That promotes Nick Tandy up to 4. Julian Anlauer on course to keep Saxby's run of points scores going. He'll be 16 in a row if he remains where he is. Sergio Sette Camera on course for another 6th place finish to add to his illustrious career already. Joseph Newgarden is 7th. Jolyon Palmer 8th now, on course for his 1st Grand Prix World Series points. Ricky Taylor in 9th, on course for points on his debut. And Dennis Hauger, who struggled for points last season for Solman. He did score over the course of the season. He got 6 overall. He's about to get his first one for 40 here today. Joe Zuboy and Kyle Kirkwood are the other drivers still running now. Just 12 left. 10 laps remaining. Two Ducatis in the top 3 again. But Never count your chickens just yet until the checker flag is waved. The closest battle of track we've got now is between Shane van Gisbergen and Nick Tandy. Tandy, who's on much fresher tyres compared to van Gisbergen, is going to be on his tail in a lap or so time. Head over the line now. The gap was 1 second in sector 2. The gap has come down to just under 9/10. There is Mitch Evans on his way to victory here, and Ducati's first. It's also his first in the Grand Prix Series. What a day it'll be for Sam Hull. Just sets the camera running in 6th place. Does he keep the car on the track? Runs wide onto the curb, but does well to keep it there. Joseph Newgarden, who, let's be honest, has struggled in this race, but he's going to pick up some useful points with there being so few cars finishing here. There is the battle for 3rd place. Van Gisbergen has now got a Cooper Kiro of Nick Tandy waiting to pounce as they head on to the start-finish straight to begin lap 43. There goes Tandy on Van Gisbergen. I don't think Van Gisbergen has got a leg to stand on here. Tandy up the inside and is up into the podium positions. Is Ed Hunter on course for his first podium as a Grand Prix Series team manager? Marcus Ericsson running in 2nd place. He's hopeful that he's going to make it to the end now. Van Gisbergen has got over 5 seconds in hand, or 6 seconds in hand, on Julian Andlauer. Not sure if Andlauer's going to have enough time to catch him, but never say never. Sets the camera will be under threat here from Joseph Newgarden. He hasn't felt as comfortable with the car as he had been earlier on in the race. Not long left in the race now. Ericsson in 2nd place. They're on course for another podium to add to what they have achieved in the Grand Prix Series already. They went down from League One last season. This is their 66th Grand Prix Series race. They've picked up 14 podiums previously and are about to make it 15 here. Jamie Chadwick still holds the point for the fastest lap. Tandy pulling away from Van Gisbergen. Gap between Van Gisbergen and Andlauer has come down to 5.5 seconds. See the times update. Van Gisbergen's gone over the 2nd sector time. It's 5 seconds. Andlauer is getting the gap down, but I don't think he's getting it down quickly enough. A chaotic start. It's all quite down towards the midpoint. We've seen a few more drop out. It's been a phenomenal race for Mitch Evans. He's about to add his name to the long list of race winners in the Grand Prix Series. Nick Tandy running in 3rd place as we speak. still ahead of Van Gisbergen. Cooper Kiro on course for their first podium in only their third outing in the Grand Prix World Series. Just counting the number of different race winners in the Grand Prix World Series, it is a lot, I can tell you that. And an engine blow up for Dennis Hauger in the 40. He was running in 10th position, and that point is going to be taken away. Crosses over the line. I think he's done enough laps to be classified as a finisher, but he's not going to come away with anything here. Both of the 40s are out of the race now. There are over 50 Grand Prix World Series race winners, I can tell you that. I can't quite see the exact number. I got distracted by Hauger pulling off the circuit, so I'll have to run down on that, or let Topher Smith find out for himself as he runs through the latest championship standings. But Sergio Sette Camera is still running in 6th place ahead of Joseph Newgard, and the gap is less than 2 seconds between the pair. The gap between Van Gisbergen and Andlauer has come down to 4 seconds with 4 laps left. So Andlauer needs to pull out or reduce it by a second a lap if he's to have any chance of snatching 4th place away from the Ducati. Here is the Zach Speed on course for another points finish. The 16th time in a row. Hauger's retirement has promoted Sho Suboy up into the points. Kyle Kirk was the only one outside the points. Not on course to be scoring, but you never know. Evans' lead is nearly 9 seconds on Marcus Ericsson. Just needs to bring the car home now. Around La Plata in Argentina, it is the first time that the Grand Prix World Series in Argentina is not held in Buenos Aires, as it has done in the last 4 seasons. The switch has been made to go to La Plata, and I think it's definitely put on some action here. And there's Ricky Taylor, who's now behind Jolyon Palmer. This is for 8th position. Is the Ganassi going to find a way through on the Pacific? Not this time around. I'd imagine this battle will go on to the end between the Brit and the American. It's Andy. What a drive it's been from him. Looking at where he started, he qualified very well actually, did Sandy. He qualified in P7, setting an identical lap time to what Marcus Ericsson had done. Two laps remaining here. Evans is close to victory now. Just needs to make no mistakes from here and no reliability issues. Houndering Sam Hall's team. Ricky Taylor again with Jolyon Palmer. This is going to be the moment where he makes his way up the order. Up the inside goes Ricky Taylor, and he's through on the Brit. A nice overtake there from the debutant. Ricky Taylor up into 8th position on debut. And it's going to be 2 points instead of 4 for Jolyon Palmer, but at least he still is on course to get off the mark for his maiden season in this championship. Mitch Evans is about to begin the final lap. We've seen Ricky Taylor go off in the Chip Ganassi. And that overtake on Jolyon Palmer counted for nothing. A really bad mistake from Ricky Taylor, who's driven a brilliant race up until this point, and he's thrown it all away by himself there. That must have been over at turn 5 before going off at 6. Now, can he get back on the circuit before Show Suboy gets around? I don't think he can. Suboy goes through. Taylor rejoins in 10th. Mitch Evans is on his final lap now, very close to sealing victory. A dismal time of it last season for Manor, condemning them to relegation to League 2. The rebrand to Ducati has helped Evans and Van Gisbergen rejuvenate some of the spirit that was lost. Today has got them back on the map here. Mitch Evans is not too far away from victory now. Just the one corner left to go through. The right-hander of turn 11. And the Ducati team will be out on the pit wall to celebrate. Mitch Evans has driven a beautiful race. Mitch Evans wins the League 2 La Plata Grand Prix. It's his first win in the Grand Prix Series, as it is for Ducati. They now lead both the drivers and the team's championships in League 2. Marcus Ericsson in second place for Lola, and it's a first time podium for Nick Tandy and for Cooper Kiro. It's a first podium for Ed Hunter as a Grand Prix Series team manager. Shane Van Gisbergen fourth in the second Ducati, followed by Julian Anlower in the Saxby, followed by Sergio Sette Camera. Joseph Newgarden is in 7th for Jaguar, and it's 8th for Jolyon Palmer and for Pacific, their first points of the season. Joe Suboy picking up a couple more points for him and for Mazda in 9th, and the final point going to Ricky Taylor in the Chip Ganassi on debut. Kyle Kirkwood will be the last driver to finish in P11, just missing out on points. Very unlucky for him, but at least he makes it to the checkered flag. It is victory for Mitch Evans and for Ducati, their first in the Grand Prix Series here in La Plata. Marcus Ericsson second for Lola, Nick Tandy third for Cooper Kiro, their first podium in the Grand Prix Series. Shane Van Gisbergen fourth, Julian Anlower in fifth, had a Sergio Sette Camera. Joseph Newgarden having a disappointing race to 7th. Jolyon Palmer scoring points for the first time in 8th. Joe Suboy is 9th. Ricky Taylor taking the final point for Chip Ganassi in 10th. Kai Kirkwood in 11th, and the last driver to take the checkered flag. Dennis Hauger classified in 12th. Roman DeAngelis, we lost towards the end, was running in the top 3. Nick de Vries also out for Toyota. Yi Yifi, Jess Hawkins, Jamie Chadwick, Joe Guan Yu, Earl Bamber, who we lost in the early stages, along with Callum Eilert, who crashed out. Ritomo Miata, Paul Aron, Felipe Dragovic, Miki Koyama didn't finish. Louis Delatrez and Zane Maloney both disqualified, but both retired as well. They are out and banned for the next race in Indianapolis. Delatrez for his part in the incident with Eilert, Maloney the same in his part in the incident with Koyama on that one. Albamba took the point for pole position, and the point for fastest lap going to Jamie Chadwick. A chaotic race, but one to remember for Ducati. A first and a fourth has elevated them into the lead of the Drivers' and Teams Championships. A brilliant day for Sam Hall. His first win in the Grand Prix Series since Jose Maria Lopez won out for Manor at the season finale in Season 3 at Laguna Seca. It's time to run down on the Drivers' and Teams Championships in League 2 in the voice of Topher Smith, and we'll be back for the League 1 race very, very shortly.
So a maiden Grand Prix World Series victory for Mitch Evans and the Ducati team, and the end of a long drought for Sam Hall, the team manager. Had a disappointing Season 4 with the Manor team, which was Sam Hall's first season without picking up a victory, but he's now back on a top step again at his third attempt with the Ducati team, so well done to him. And a special shout out as well to Ed Hunter, one of the long-term team managers of the Grand Prix World Series. He's been around since Season 2 with the Real team, and finally with the Cooper Kiro team, Ed Hunter picks up his first podium. So a massive congratulations as well to Ed Hunter It's been a long time coming, but he finally has his first piece of silverware for the team. But how has this race affected the drivers' standings? Let's take a quick look now. Mitch Evans, with his victory today, moves up to the top of the championship on 40 points, 3 ahead of Earl Bamber today, who loses his championship lead, having retired from today's race. Still got a point for pole position, though, but falls behind his fellow countrymen in the standings. Marcus Ericsson third in the Lola on 33, just the one ahead of Shane van Gisbergen in the second Ducati. Sam Hall enjoying a strong start to the season so far, with both of his drivers in the top 4 in the standings. Jamie Chadwick down to 5th on 28 points, the same number of points as Julian Anlauer, who so far is putting together a very consistent season and picking up some strong points for the Zaxby team. Nick Tandy's podium today puts him up to 7th in the standings on 27, ahead of Ye Yifei on 26, while Joseph Newgarden and Sho Suboy round out the top 10 on 12 and 10 points each. In the team standings, Ducati, with both of their drivers in the top 4, leads the way on 72 points, 11 ahead of the Lola team, who lose their lead in the championship. Jaguar down to 3rd on 49, ahead of Cupra Kiro on 36. Zaxby are 5th on 32, 5 ahead of Lancia on 27. Mazda and Ford 7th and 8th with 10 points each. 40 Corsa and Pacific on 4 each. And then Chip Ganassi on 3, Toyota on 1, and Iron Dames still on 0. But I'm sure the team will be picking up some points very soon. Jake Sanson eager to get either of his cars into the top 10 at the next round in Indianapolis. Well, that is League 2 done for today, so let's move straight on to League 1, and we'll remind ourselves of the championship standings following the Campo Grande Grand Prix last time out. And Scott Dixon, the former 2-time champion of the Grand Prix World Series, looking to get his 3rd championship and take that crown back. He is top of the standings on 30 points, 3 ahead of Kevin Magnussen, who won the season opener in the Caribbean. Felix Rosenqvist won last time out in Campo Grande to move up to 3rd on 26 points. Christopher Bell on 24, 4th in the championship, ahead of Alex Palou on 19. Pascal Wehrlein, a pole position already this season. He is 6th in the standings on 16, ahead of Jake Dennis, Kevin Estra, Antonio Vix da Costa, and Oliver Rowland, rounding out the top 10. As far as the team standings go, Onyx Grand Prix leads the way. Ryan Ferris enjoying the championship lead at the moment with 42 points. Von Mattel with their victory in the first round, 2nd in the standings on 37, ahead of Arrows on 32, HRT on 24, Ram on 19, Minardi on 16, Andretti on 13, Prema on 8, Prost on 7, and Simtek and Force India both on 4 each, with BAR and Carlin not yet picking up any points this season, and they will be hoping to get themselves onto the scoreboard today here in La Plata. There are no driver changes to bring you for League 1 today, with the exception of Nicholas Latifi returning to his race seat following his suspension from the Campo Grande Grand Prix last time out. He returns today in La Plata and will be looking to get a strong result as he gets back into the race seat again. How has qualifying gone for today? Let's take a look at the grid now. And it is a HRT 1-2. Scott McLaughlin on pole alongside his teammate Christopher Bell, with Robin Freins 3rd in the Arrows ahead of Pascal Wehrlein, both qualifying within a quarter of a second of Scott McLaughlin's time. Felix Rosenqvist, the winner last time out. He is 5th on the grid for today alongside Ryo Hirakawa in the Minardi. Oliver Rowland 7th ahead of Antonio Felix da Costa, Linus Lundqvist and Raffaele Marcello in the Force India, rounding out the top 10. Reigning champion Sebastian Buemi having a bit of a better qualifying session today and lines up 11th on the grid alongside Nicholas Latifi, who returns for today's race. Alex Palou 13th in the Ram alongside Kevin Magnussen in the Von Mattel. Being where he is in the championship, Magnussen would like to be a lot higher up than that. Mahavira Kunathan 15th alongside Kevin Estra. Stoffel Van Dorn 17th in the Carlin ahead of Scott Dixon, our championship leader, in 18th. Jake Dennis and Louis Foster, the 2 Brits, are 19th and 20th. And then at the back of the field, Jose Maria Lopez, Pato O'Ward, Nolan Siegel, Nina Hardeman, and then at the back, Jean-Eric Verne and Igor Fraga with back of the grid penalties to serve for today's race. Well, if League 2 was anything to go by, we are set for another barnstormer of a race here in League 1. How is this going to go? Can the HRTs hang on for their first victory of the season, or will we see a challenge from the likes of Robin Freins and Pascal Wehrlein behind them? Let's waste no more time. Let's get this one going. So Tom Cairns It's back to you in the commentary box.
2 races and 2 non-finishes for Scott McLaughlin, but he is on pole this time. Can he convert it into victory here in Argentina? HRT's look to get off the front row, sweet and sound. The 5 lights are coming on now for one last time today. Lights on, lights off, it's go in La Plata. Timely getaway from Christopher Bell. A torrid start for his teammate Scott McLaughlin from pole position. Having an absolute shocker of it. And he's down to 4th place behind the 2 Minardis. And Verline has managed to streak into the lead ahead of Christopher Bell, with Rio Hirakawa in 3rd place and Scott McLaughlin in 4th. Then it's the arrows of Oliver Rowland in 5th place. He's had a reasonable start to this one. 2 places up already, with Rafael Marcello in the Force India in 6th, followed by Robin Frines and Tony Felix da Costa. Felix Rosenquist, the race winner, in Campo Grande in 9th. And in 10th place is the Prost of Sebastian Buemi. And not too many dramas so far, but it is the first lap. It all pretty much kicked off at the end of the lap when Sei Maloney and Miki Koyama collided in the lead 2 race earlier. But so far, so good for Minardi. But we've seen Bell, who's looking feisty at this stage, determined to get back into the lead that he had lost at turn 1. And then we have a look at Robin Frines behind Rafael Marcello, 4th position. This is for 6th place. And the first lap is about to come to an end here. And I think Bell is looking to get back into the lead here. Alongside Pascal Verlaine into turn 1. There goes Robin Frines also on Rafael Marcello. Verlaine remained in the lead ahead of Bell. And we've seen switch for positions between Rosenquist and da Costa. Rosenquist up into 8th position after where he had started this race. And yeah, he started 5th position on the grid, did Rosenquist. He had a really poor start to this, but he's making up for lost time. There goes Buemi on da Costa for 9th position. Buemi's move didn't come off well, unfortunately, and now he's falling back into the clutches of the Andretti of Linus Lundqvist. Christopher Bell in 2nd place behind Pascal Verlaine. Verlaine, who hasn't won in the Grand Prix Series since his victory. You have to go all the way back. I think it was the League 2 Valencia Grand Prix that he had won. In Season 3 it would have been for Verlaine back then. There is Nina Gaiman. The fast lap is updating itself. Kevin Estra came into the pits at the end of lap 1 for repairs, so not a good start for the Onyx driver. And Gunnarsson is into the pits for BAR. It looks like he's picked up damage on the 2nd lap, or he's needing to come in for repairs. One driver who is back after a 1 race ban is Nicholas Latifi for running into Scott McLaughlin in Aruba. And we are right on board with Jose Maria Lopez running in 24th place behind the Ram of Igor Fraga. Ahead of Fraga is Jake Dennis, and ahead of Dennis is Scott Dixon, the championship leader. It's not as crazy of a start to the race as it was in League 2, but da Costa is about to pull out in the Fonmetal. It's a big shame. He was running in the points before he's had to pull off there, and it's no points for him here. Out goes Antonio Felix da Costa. The first retirement of the race. And Verlaine with a new fast lap for Minardi, the former Fonmetal driver, going well, and Felix Rosenquist is able to take that fast lap point away from him. And it looks like Christopher Bell has gone into the lead now on Verlaine. And he has done. And we're going to see a replay on how he's managed to do it into turn 1, where we've seen so many drivers send one up the inside. Bell is able to do that. And he's into the lead now. So it's HRT leading Minardi, leading Minardi, leading HRT. Verlaine down to 2nd place. And his teammate Rio Hirakawa. Less than 4 seconds separating the top 8. Rosenquist is closing in on the Kramer of Oliver Rowland. I think I said that Rowland was an Arrows driver. That's completely wrong. He's a Prima driver this season. I was thinking of last season when Oliver Rowland was racing for Arrows. So far, so good though for HRT. Hoping to pick up their first win of the season. Minardi haven't won since Antonio Giovinazzi claimed victory at the League One Nürburgring Grand Prix last season. Robin Frijns has managed to make his way through on the HRT and the Minardi at the same time. Robin Frijns taking 2 in one go. Sensational stuff from Robin Frijns. We're going to see a replay of the Dutchman going for it. And you can just see that McLaughlin pulled out of the slipstream. Frijns got into the slipstream and just slingshot his way through on the Minardi into turn 1. Now Robin Frijns, who has yet to take victory in the Grand Prix Series, has the chance to do so here. He's looking strong. And there's an engine blow up for Pascal Wehrlein up ahead. Yet again, the Minardi hitting problems at this stage of the race on lap number 5. Oh, it's just seen pull out, run wide and go for a spin. And that's cost the Ram Dia. Now he'll feel that Wehrlein should have got off the track sooner. He was on the racing line, to be fair, was Wehrlein. And Pelot did very well not to take out the Fonmetal of Kevin Magnussen as he rejoined. Running wide, off the circuit goes Pascal Wehrlein with that engine problem. And Pelot is going to have to wait for virtually the whole field to go by before he can rejoin. Wehrlein retires, but will that be the last of it? And the front wing continues to disintegrate on Pelot's car. He'll be in the pits for a new nose section at the end of this lap. And no further action is going to be taken. And we are seeing a battle for 9th place. This is Kevin Magnussen and Nicholas Latifi in the Fonmetal and the BAR. BAR have yet to get off the mark this season. But there goes Rafael Marcello on Oliver Rowland by the looks of it. That'll be for 5th place now, with Wehrlein out of the race. Robin Frijns is up to 2nd, but he's lost ground to race leader Christopher Bell, who's going for his first Grand Prix Series victory today. Sebastian Raymond running in 8th position, hoping to get off the mark in his defence of the Grand Prix Series title. Prost are only on 7 points after 2 races. They have managed to score in both rounds so far. It hasn't exactly gone to plan for them so far in Season 5. They are the reigning drivers and teams champions. Running in 22nd after needing to pit in at the end of lap 2. Phoenix Racing Chris running wide onto the curb there, but no harm done. Run down on the setups then, as the race calms down. Prost have gone for a neutral setup, as have HRT. BAR have gone for maximum top speed. Arrows and Force India have gone for mid top speed. Minardi have gone for maximum top speed. Simsa have gone for mid top speed. Onyx have gone for mid downforce. Fonmetal have gone for mid top speed, as have Carlin, Ram and Andretti. Ram have gone for a neutral setup. We're on lap 8 of 50. We've seen Lopez try to go for it on Igor Fraga into the last turn. And they'll make up another position in a moment because Jake Dennis in the Andretti has hit engine problems and his race has come to a close. Oh, Fraga cutting across on Lopez there. That could have been disastrous for the pair of them. Jake Dennis. It's race over for him, just as it was in Campo Grande 2 weeks ago. Comes the third driver to retire on lap number 8, along with Pascal Wehrlein and Antonio Felix da Costa. So we've lost one Andretti, one Minardi, and one von Mittal. And he's trying to get back to the pits, is Dennis. I don't think he will get that far. He's doing his best to get back. You can see Matthew Raghunathan in the background closing in. But Dennis is coming to a slowdown. Can he maybe get back to the pits? My answer to that will be no. No, he's already past pit entry, so it's race over for the young Brit. Jake Dennis pulls to the side. It's race over for him. Not good news for Linus O'Howell, the team manager. And it looks like Oliver Rowland has pulled to the side of the circuit as well in the Prima. He's out. He was running in 4th place, was Oliver Rowland, before he pulled off. That's disappointing for team manager Alex Johnston. Ryo Hirakawa is down to 6th position now as well. Jake Dennis out of the race along with Oliver Rowland, so that makes it 4 retirements from this race. We're on lap number 9. Stoffel Vandoorne has moved off into the points, and Nina Gaiman is the latest to drop out of it. Another engine problem for the Dutch driver, who's competing in the F1 Academy Series full-time this year. That's one of Liv Simtek's cars out of this. Nina Gaiman is out. And Louis Foster has been overtaken by Linus Lundqvist, and I think Jean-Luc Verne is going to be closing in as well at the same time. So it has been a good race for Prema. It was a lap or so ago, but now it's really, really falling apart for them here. Mario Lopez still going in 18th position for the Prost team. He's picked up all of their points so far. 7th place finish in Aruba, followed by 10th in Campo Grande. Marcello in 4th place ahead of Rosenqvist. Right on board with Alex Palou, who is the latest to hit Mechanical Gremlins. He was at the back after needing to pit for a new front wing, but it's race over for the Spaniard who won in Argentina in the Grand Prix Series last season at Buenos Aires, but it's not going to be a finish for him here this time around. He pulls off in the same places where he had that spin. That's retirement number 6. And Sebastian Buemi has just lost 2 positions to Nicolas Latifi. I think we're going to see why in a moment. I think the Prost is about to pull out of this yet again. The reigning champion Sebastian Buemi has pulled to the side of the circuit. And it's going to be race over for him here. He is out. And it's a front suspension failure on the Prost that's forced him out here. At the same place as where Alex Palou has just pulled off as well. Buemi retires for the 3rd race in a row. This is not looking good for his championship hopes. He was running in 7th place before he had the front suspension failure, and now it's all come to nothing for him here. And Jean-Luc Verne has been overtaken by Louis Foster. One of those who have been dicing it out for position. Linus Lundqvist has moved in front of Stoffel van Dorn as well. Right on board with Robin Friends, who's in 3rd place behind Scott McLaughlin. And the rear wing has gone on the Prost of Jose Maria Lopez this time. Now, we didn't see what happened, but he's lost his rear wing, and it goes from bad to worse for Prost now. Now we see Scott McLaughlin in 2nd place. Lopez will be in the pits at the end of this lap for a new rear wing. It's going to be a long race for him here now. 7 drivers out of the race then, as we see race leader Christopher Bell coming in at the end of lap 12. Likewise for Robin Friends. Continuing to see pit strategy play a role in this. Kevin Magnussen in for Von Mattel. Looks like Jean-Luc Verne is sending one up the inside here on Louis Foster, as does Stoffel van Dorn on Linus Lundqvist. Drivers out of the race so far. Sebastian Buemi is out, as is Alex Palou. We've also lost Nina Gaidman, Oliver Rowland, Jake Dennis, Pascal Verline and Antonio Felix da Costa. 19 left in the race. Kevin Estre coming in for his first scheduled stop. Also in is Jose Maria Lopez for repairs. Right on board with Linus Lundqvist, who's running in P7. After Stoffel van Dorn. We've got Scott McLaughlin into the pits, and it looks like Lundqvist is struggling here. He's just allowed Verne and Foster through. We expect him to be in the pits at the end of this lap to get the repairs done. And the engine has expired on the Andretti. That explains it. Latifi and McLaughlin are in the pits. Andretti are going to see both of their drivers failing to score here. Losing drivers left, right and centre now. And there goes Christopher Bell. Who is aiming for his first Grand Prix World Series win. And Linus Lundqvist, well, he's not going to be anywhere near scoring points. As he pulls off, Scott Dixon and Igor Fraga go through. That's retirement number 8. And there goes the Swede. Linus Lundqvist is out. There's 2 retirements in a row for him. From one Swede to another, Felix Rosenqvist is into the pits for Arrows. Hirakawa going into the lead by passing Rafael Marcello on circuit. Hirakawa has yet to stop in this race, as does Marcello, Van Dorn likewise, and as does Louis Foster and Nolan Siegel. He's got Christopher Bell right behind. Driver with the fastest up of the race is Felix Rosenqvist, who's just come in for a stop. He's rejoining 12th now, ahead of Nicholas Latifi and Kevin Magnussen. Lap 15. Hirakawa, who's already won the Grand Prix Series last season for Carlin, who won at the Nürburgring. And also finished on the podium a further 4 times. And Marcello is about to take the lead here from Ryo Hirakawa. Marcello going back through. Nicely done there from the Force India pilot. Nolan Siegel, the Simsec coming in. He was running in 5th position before heading into pit road. There goes Felix Rosenquist passing Pato O'Ward, who we've hardly spoken about so far in this race, but at least he's still going. Siegel rejoins in 15th position. Here's Scott McLaughlin, who's stuck behind Igor Fraga for P7. And this has costing McLaughlin time here in his quest to go after his teammate Christopher Bell. Scott Dixon was the championship leader coming into this round, but he is running in 6th place. He's yet to stop as well. This is the Kiwi. We're about to see another change for the lead again. Marcello gets overtaken by Ryo Hirakawa into turn 1. Stoff Van Don comes into the pits for Carlin. And I wonder how long Hirakawa and Marcello are both looking to do. We didn't see anyone go for the 1 stop in the Lead 2 race, but that's because of the number of cars we had left by this stage. Louis Foster is in 3rd right now for Kramer, with Christopher Bell over a second back. That's 7 tenths because Bell is closing down on Foster all the time, and he is on the fresher tyres after all. There we see Van Dorn is rejoined in front of Jean-Eric Verne. He's aiming to get to the end without tripping anyone over. Foster in P3. Under threat here from Christopher Bell. They've seen Latifi running wide. That'll be over at turn number 9, I believe. Marcello and Foster are in the pits. Will fall out of the points once they rejoin. Should promote Magnussen and Latifi back into the points. Marcello rejoins in front of Magnussen, in fact. Marcello's played that one perfectly. Ryo Hirakawa is yet to stop in this race. He's looking to do the 1 stop, it seems. Marcello rejoins in 9th behind Pato O'Ward, who hasn't stopped yet. Igor Fraga hasn't stopped yet. Scott Dixon has not stopped yet. And we've got retirement over at Prost, and it's Jose Maria Lopez who has suffered the same failure as what Sebastian Buemi has had. It's game over for Prost, their first double retirement of the season. Their grip as the reigning drivers and teams champions is becoming increasingly tenuous now. Ryo Hirakawa has come into the pits from the lead. We've just seen the marshal point Lopez's car away, and just saw Christopher Bell having to go around it, which is not ideal. Not exactly sure how the marshals operate round here in La Plata compared to most circuits, but at least Lopez's car is pushed out of the way now. Robin Fryns in 4th behind Scott Dixon, who hasn't stopped yet. And it's Igor Fraga up to 5th in the Ram. They're hoping to build on their podium thanks to Alex Palou in Campo Grande. Behind Fraga is Felix Rosenquist, who will want to be getting involved in this. Christopher Bell goes back into the lead. Hirakawa is rejoining 7th place after his first stop. There we see Robin Fines going through on Scott Dixon. And Igor Fraga going for it. Late lunge. And Dixon saw it at the last moment. Has to hold back for now. And you see Rosenquist all over the back of the ramp. TV is running in 11th position. BAR are one of 2 teams yet to score points in League One this season. Carlin are the other team. We've got O'Ward running in 9th, who is yet to stop. Stoff Van Dorn is running in 13th. See McLaughlin getting the gap down to Bell. The gap is just under 6 seconds. And I think Rosenquist will get a move done on Igor Fraga in a moment. Well, he won't need to do, because Fraga is into the pits for the first time. He'll fall out of the top 15 for the Brazilian. And Nolan Siegel has been overtaken by Louis Foster and Stoff Van Dorn. Fraga rejoins in 15th place. Murphy Ragunathan is still going in the BAR. He's outside the top 15. Just seen Van Dorn running wide there, going after Nicholas Latifi. Now on lap 21, Bell leads, McLaughlin second. It's a HRT 1 and 2. On board with Kevin Magnussen. So to keep his car on the circuit. HRT have yet to achieve a 1-2 in the Grand Prix Series, despite the fact that they've taken victory on 5 occasions before. They haven't taken a 1-2 yet. You see Ryo Hirakawa pushing hard in the Minardi. I wonder if Dixon pitted in, like he was one of the first drivers to pit in before everyone else, hence why he's up as high as he is as we speak. You see Latifi holding up Stoff Van Dorn in their fight for P11. There's a potential 7-car battle brewing, with Pato O'Ward at the head of this queue. Sean McBurn on Kevin Magnussen, aiming for his first points of the season. Here's the Frenchman. He goes through on the inside. That's 9th position going in the way of him. I think Van Dorn's got through on Latifi now for P11. Scott McLaughlin in 2nd place right now. Aiming to get off the mark for the new season. He's already got the pole position point, but he wants a whole lot more than just that. If the positions were to remain as they are, Christopher Bell will be into the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Scott Dixon will be second. Felix Rosenquist in third place. And Kevin Magnussen drop into fourth. Dixon now fifth. Onyx. I think Hirakawa just got by him. Now Rosenquist is looking to make his move in the near future. HRT looking very, very good right now. If they were to get a 1-2 finish, that will give them 44 championship points, with Arrows getting the point for the fastest lap, courtesy of Rosenquist. Let's not forget. They'll go on to 68 points. There's an engine blowout for one of the Carlins. It'll be Pato O'Ward, who's driven a beautiful race before now. Unless he can get that car back to the pit lane, which he doesn't do. It's race over, I'm afraid, for one of Perry Brown's drivers. Here's the latest casualty in this grueling race that's taken its toll on the cars here in La Plata. Race over for the Mexican of Pato O'Ward. He should be pushed to the Armco on the left hand side instead of the right hand side where other cars have been pushed off. We'll see whether he does actually get pushed to the left hand side this time around. Christopher Bell, see the yellow flags being waved for O'Ward's car. There's another driver gone from this race. Got 16 left, you can just see. And pushed to the side there, next to where Jose Maria Lopez had retired earlier. And there's a car slowing. Rafael Marcello in the Force India, running remarkably well, but mechanical gremlins have robbed him. Another one gone from this race. Rafael Marcello is out in the Force India. That's his second non-finish in 3. Not good for Ed Spencer by any stretch of the imagination. Got just 15 drivers left in the race now. 11 have retired. Scott Dixon is finally in for his first stop, which will be his only one. He'll fall behind Nolan Siegel, so he'll drop to 12th position. Dixon rejoins ahead of Fraga. Fraga was behind Dixon before they both came in. They are both aiming to go to the end. So we'll run down on the positions here. Bell leads, it's McLaughlin in second place. The gap is over 6 seconds. Ria Hirakawa is third. Robin Fry's fourth. It's Felix Rosenquist in the second, Arrows in fifth. Shonik Verne in 6th place for Force India. Southern Dawn in 7th for Carlin. Kevin Magnussen is 8th for Formatel. Nicholas Latifi 9th for BAR. And Louis Foster in the final points paying position for Prema in 10th. There we see Louis Foster going for it on Nicholas Latifi. Having to go back into the slipstream and then going for it again. The Prema is through on the BAR. Nicely done there from the young Brit Louis Foster, who won the last two League 2 races of the Season 4 campaign in Sepang and Phillip Island. Hasn't scored yet this season. Hopes to change that here. So Latifi tried to fight back there, but to no avail. Drivers out of the race then. We've lost Rafael Marcello, we've lost Pato Ward, we've also lost Jose Maria Lopez. Sebastian Buemi is out, Linus Lundqvist is out, Alex Below is also out. We've lost the likes of Pascal Wehrlein and Antonio Felix da Costa. Nina Gademan we've also lost, and talking of which of Nina Gademan, her teammate Nolan Siegel has got through on Nicholas Latifi into the points. This is a fine effort from Siegel, with the Simsec not expected to be scoring highly this season, hoping to avoid the drop. We see the HRT heading over the line. Christopher Bell maintaining the margin. Laps to go. Nolan Siegel doing his best to keep his car on the circuit. Further up ahead, Louis Foster's closing in on the race winner of Aruba, Kevin Magnussen. Nicholas Latifi is fighting back here on Nolan Siegel. He's heading up the inside, and that's him through into P10. Hirakawa on course for his first podium for Minardi. He failed to make it to the checker flag in the first two. And once the second round of pit stops have played out, as Van Dorn comes in for Carlin, as does Louis Foster. What about Latifi or Siegel? Do they decide to pit? Well, Siegel does. So Dixon will go up into 9th position for now. Moves up to 13th, Gunnifer now 11th. You're watching Scott McLaughlin, who, if he's going to win this race, he may need to try and go for an undercut. Well, he won't be able to do that now because Christopher Bell has come in from the lead. Hirakawa will go up into 2nd place. Fines will move up the order, as does Rosenquist. Verne goes through. What about Magnussen and Latifi? Well, Bell's rejoining the race now in 6th position. He's got a bit of clear track ahead of him, which is convenient for him. see American Nayland Seagull in 15th and last place, but we have got more pit stops to come before this race is over. There's every chance he's going to be finishing in the points in this race, should he keep going to the end. Frines is in 3rd place, ahead of Rio Hirakawa, or behind Rio Hirakawa I should say. He's got Rosenquist behind him. Well, Hirakawa's in the pits now. Jean-Luc Vergne is in also for Force India. Kevin Madison is 8th for Mattel. Is rejoined ahead of Dixon, which is important. We're going to be going through on Vergne as Vergne came out of the pits. Estra comes in for Onyx. It's unlikely he'll be scoring points here. Seeing pit lane activity over at HRT. Scott McLaughlin in from the lead. What does Robin Frines and Phyllis Rosenquist do? Rosenquist is into 2nd place. It's Arrows 1 and 2 for now. McLaughlin will rejoin behind his teammate in 4th. Be a net 2nd, and there we see Vergne being overtaken by the Carlin Stoff Van Don in an area where you wouldn't expect to see an overtake happening. I think Vergne has picked up a problem. Is that a loose wheel on that Force India? Well, it's a brake problem that's forced Vergne into the pits, and there goes his chance of points in this one. Falling lot there for Jean-Luc Vergne, who's likely to go down a lap once he comes back out. Frines in the pits from the lead. Rosenquist goes ahead for now. Expect Frines to rejoin round about where Dixon is. TV in also for BAR, hoping to get his first points of the season. McLaughlin is just over 6 seconds off. Belby is on the slightly better rubber compared to his American teammate. And an engine failure for Louis Foster in the Prima does very well to avoid Nicholas Latifi as the Canadian came back out. But it's race over for both Prima drivers and no points for them. I think Matavir Raghunathan, did he come into the pits at the end of the previous lap? Because it felt to me like he did. Either way, Felix Rosenquist is into the pits now from the lead. Foster's car gets pushed off the circuit. And that's another driver gone from this race. And it's turning into a parking lot over at turn 3. You can see Lopez and O'Ward's cars there. Not expecting any more pit stops now from here until the end of the race. Here goes Latifi on Seagull. Nicely done there from the BAR. As for Bell, we'll just focus on bringing the car home. And Vern, who's only just been in the pits, gets past Matt Viraganatham for 12th. He's got 19 seconds to make up on Nolan Siegel in 15 laps. Florence makes a lock up into the last turn. Gets away with it. We've seen a battle brewing now between Dixon and Rosenquist. Coming onto the pit straight. Rosenquist should make his way through on the Onyx without any drama, and he does so. McLaughlin getting the gap down a little bit. It's now 5.5 seconds. Van Don going through on Igor Fraga for 7th place. Fraga is one of those doing the one stop. He is beginning to struggle. Christopher Bell, but Rio Hirakawa has hit trouble in the Minardi, and it looks like both Minardis yet again are not going to be finishing here. He's past pit entry. It's race over for Rio Hirakawa and for team manager Giacomo Pagliaro. There needs to be careful here. Hirakawa is very much in the firing line here. Pushed over the barriers. Unbelievable luck for the Minardi team yet again. Reliability problems hindering their progress. That's retirement number 13 of this race. .9 seconds was the margin between Bell and McLaughlin set to 1. It's now come down to 4.7 in sector 2. What's the gap over the line? It's 4.6. Van Dorn is up to 6th place in the Carlin. Latifi up to 9th. So after 3 races, all 13 teams will have scored points in the League 1 Teams Championship. BAR will remain bottom though. They've got a lot of work to do if they are to remain in the top flight for Season 6. Bottom 3 after this race, as it stands, will be Simtech, Force India and BAR. Cross will be just above it in 10th. Carlin will leapfrog out of the drop zone. They'll be on 8 points and in front of Prost. They'll be behind Kramer on countback. So it's a HRT 1 and 2, and Arrows 3 and 4. .44 championship points coming the way for HRT. 28 championship points coming in the way of Arrows. HRT will be leading the team's championship on 68 points. Arrows will be second on 60. That's Onyx in third on 52. Mattel will be in fourth on 43. Igor Fraga is continuing to struggle in the Ram on his older set of tyres. He's only 1.1 seconds ahead of Latifi, who's on fresher rubber. We go back to race leader Christopher Bell, only 3.9 seconds clear over teammate Scott McLaughlin. As far as the Drivers' Championship is concerned, Christopher Bell will go into the lead. He will be on 49 points. And Scott Dixon in second place on 40. And Felix Rosenquist in third on 39. Kevin Magnussen will be fourth on 33. Latifi is behind Fraga in the fight for 8th position. There they are. Latifi going for it on the Ram. No way through just yet. I think Bell had to lift off the throttle slightly on the pit straight. The gap coming down to 3.5 seconds with 9 laps remaining here in La Plata. Has put on the show in its first appearance in the Grand Prix Series. We hope to see more races at this track in the future. And we see Felix Rosenquist slowing down in the arrows. This is not good news for his hopes in the championship. 2 races from 3 and he's out. That makes HRT's life easier, and it also makes Scott Dixon's life easier. Bell will still lead the championship as it stands. But Rosenquist's race is run, and you can just see the Simtech having to go round. I think this is probably one of the downsides of this circuit with the way the car's being pushed off the racetrack at turns 1, 2, 3 and 4. And it is very much turned into a parking lot there now, isn't it? We're down to 12. 11 cars made it to the checker flag in the lead 2 race earlier, plus 1 that was classified. And there's Bell locking up into turns 1 and 2. And McLaughlin is closing in. Locked up into 1. Couldn't get the car slowed down for 2. We're in for a nail-biting finish here now. The gap was 3.2 seconds at the beginning of the lap. It'll come down to probably 2 seconds. Like Bell riding heavily over the curbs and nearly losing it. Here is a replay of the American running wide. I wonder if the pressure is beginning to get to him. I don't know whether the throttle was stuck there, but it caused the car to ride over the curb and onto the grass. Bell is really beginning to struggle here, and McLaughlin is closing. The gap is 1.3 seconds. Nolan Siegel is up to 9th place in the Syntex Jonathan, back in the points now for Force India. Nicholas Latifi is finally through on Igor Fraga for 7th place. BAR on course for 6 championship points. Carlin are on course for 10, with Van Dorn in 5th. There are the leaders. Bell, well, it does say 1.3 seconds, but I'm sure it's less than that now. It's 1.2. Look at Matthew, we're going to finish in 11th place. Only Kevin Estra is right behind, albeit he's another 4 seconds back. As it stands in the bottom 3, it'll be Force India, rock bottom, on 5 points, and it'll be Syntec with 6. And BAR will also be on 6. BAR will be ahead on countback. Cross, the reigning champions will just be above water on 7 points after the first 3 races. Here are the 2 HRTs. I wonder what team manager John Munro will be thinking at this point. Vitally important they bring the cars home now. 6 laps to go. Gap is 1.1 seconds. See Scott Dixon. It's in the apex. Turn number 10. So able to keep his car on track. Kevin Magnussen is behind Stoffel Van Dorn in the fight for 5th position. Latifi is closing in also. Kevin Magnussen running in 6th place, right in the curbs. And we've seen a change for the lead. It looks like Bell has had a problem. The engine is expired on Christopher Bell's car and he's out. Appalling luck for the man who is chasing his first win in the Grand Prix Series. He'll have to wait for a couple more weeks. Scott McLaughlin takes the lead with 5 laps to go. Robin Friends will go into 2nd place and Scott Dixon will be into the final podium position in the Onyx. There goes Bell off the racetrack. McLaughlin can take it easy from here now. Stoffel Van Dorn will go up into 4th place. Kevin Magnussen will be 5th. And it'll be Latifi, Frager, Siegel, Verne and Ragunathan in the top 10. Kevin Istra, as it stands, is going to be the only one finishing and missing out on points. The points as they are, Bell will not move into the lead now. Scott Dixon will remain in the championship lead. He'll move on to 45 points. In 2nd place will be Kevin Magnussen on 37. 3rd position will be, according to my maths, if I get it right, it will be Felix Rosenquist. He'll be on 27. The Teams Championship, Onyx will remain in the lead of the Teams Championship with Dixon on course for a podium. On 57 points. HRT, by picking up a win and pole position, will go on to 50 in 2nd. And then Arrows will also be on 50. HRT will be ahead on countback. From Mattel, Kevin Magnussen running in 5th place will get them on 47 points, but they'll drop down 2 positions to 4th. Scott Dixon, P3 in the Onyx. We've seen a 3-way battle between Van Dorn, Magnussen and Latifi in the final few laps. 5 seconds behind Latifi is Igor Fraga, who's got enough in hand over Nolan Siegel to keep hold of 7th place. That could be real important points for Ram later on in the season. And VAR will of course get both cars to the finish with Latifi in 6th and Ragunathan in 10th, which will put them on 9 championship points. Carlin will go on to 12, Force India be on 6, and Simtek will move on to 8, which will drop Prost into the drop zone. Two laps remaining for Scott McLaughlin. He won the League One Anderstorp Grand Prix in Season 4. This will be his second Grand Prix Series, providing he brings the car to the checker flag. Dixon has made the one-stop strategy work in the Onyx in 3rd place. It's going to be 3 races out of 3 where he's finished in the top 4. A brilliant start to life for his new team. Nolan Sigo running in 8th ahead of Shonick Verne, who's closing down on him all the time. There's McLaughlin, who started the last lap now. He's on pole. Got off to a really appalling start. He came back through, closed in on Bell before the American retired with engine problems just a few laps ago. He was able to keep his car on the circuit and make it all the way to the end of the disappointments in Aruba and in Campo Grande. It's going to be redemption for Scott McLaughlin and for HRT, which will help them in their quest to go for the championship this season. One more corner to go. Scott McLaughlin rounds the last corner to win the League One La Plata Grand Prix. It's a return to winning ways for HRT. For the first time this season, they are on the top step. What a win for McLaughlin. Robin Frines still chasing his first win in the Grand Prix Series. It's a 2nd place for him here. And in 3rd will be the Onyx of Scott Dixon. That's 2 podiums from 3 this season for Ryan Ferris's squad. They remain in the lead of the team's championship. Scott Dixon stays in the lead of the drivers' championship. It's celebrations on the pit wall for Carlin. Their first points in League One. Stoff Van Dorn in 4th, ahead of Kevin Magnussen and Nicholas Latifi, who returns to form after missing Campo Grande. Igor Fraga with his first points in the Grand Prix Series in 7th. Next, Nolan Siegel in 8th for Simtek. Shonick Verne in 9th. And the final point going to Matthew Ragunathan in the BAR. Both BARs inside the points. Kevin Estra just missing out. It's the first win of the season for HRT and for Scott McLaughlin. What a way to do it here in La Plata. Robin Frines in 2nd with Scott Dixon in 3rd, completing the podium. Stoffel Van Dorn in 4th for Carlin, their first points in League One. Kevin Magnussen continuing to score for Fomatel in 5th. Nicholas Latifi in 6th. Igor Fraga with a fine 7th place finish for Ram ahead of Nolan Siegel. Shonick Verne is 9th for Force India. Matthew Ragunathan taking the final point in 10th place. Kevin Escher was the last to take the checker flag in 11th. Christopher Bell classified in 12th. Felix Rosenquist retired towards the end. How costly could that be at the end of the season? Rio Hikawa, who have also lost. Louis Foster's car was on fire. He also dropped out, along with Rafael Marciello. Pato Award, Jose Maria Lopez, Linus Lundqvist, Sebastian Buemi retiring for the 3rd race in a row. Alex Palou also out, along with Nina Gaidman, Oliver Rowland, Jake Dennis, Pascal Verline, and Antonio Felix da Costa with the rest to not finish. The pole position point going to Scott McLaughlin, and the 4th lap point going to Felix Rosenquist. Scott Dixon, by bagging that podium finish, he is still in the lead of the Drivers' Championship. What must it have been for Christopher Bell after being in the lead throughout the whole race for his engine to expire 5 laps from the end? He cannot catch a break, can he? His teammate won't be complaining though. It's the first win of the season for him, getting him into the fight for the championship. Hopefully that is a sign of things to come for him. Onyx remain in the team's championship lead and are hoping to build on that in the next race. It's time to run down on the League One Drivers and Teams Championships in the voice of Topher Smith, and I'll be back for the next round at Indianapolis in a couple of weeks' time. Topher, over to you.
Well, drama all the way to the end of that one. Christopher Bell looking set to take his maiden Grand Prix World Series victory, but falling just short near the end. The car letting him down on this occasion, but I'm sure he can still take some encouragement in the fact that the car is quick. There is still some consolation for John Munro's team, though, with Scott McLaughlin benefits to give HRT a victory anyway today, and Robin Freins picking up his first podium with the Arrows team. And a special congratulations to Scott Dixon for today, rising from 18th on the grid to secure third place, showing why he is regarded as the best Grand Prix World Series driver to date. And as far as the championship standings go, Scott Dixon's mega rise through the order there today has kept him at the top of the standings. The Kiwi now on 45 points, 8 ahead of Kevin Magnussen in the Formital. Rosenqvist, a non-score today, 27 points for him. And Scott McLaughlin's victory puts him up to 4th in the standings on 26. Robin Freins 5th on 24, with Christopher Bell also on 24. Alex Palou 7th on 19, ahead of Pascal Wehrlein, Jake Dennis and Stoffel Van Dorn, all in the top 10. And in the team standings, Onyx Grand Prix still holds on to the lead in the championship, 57 points for Ryan Ferris' team. Arrows second on 51, just the 1 point ahead of HRT today, who could have moved into the lead of the championship had Christopher Bell gone all the way to the end. Formital a further 3 points behind on 47, already very close between the top 4 teams, only 10 points separating them. Ram Racing 5th on 25, ahead of Minardi on 16, Andretti on 13, Carlin on 12 after their first points of the season today. BAR also picking up their first points of the season and moves up to 9th as a result. Prema on 8, Simtek also on 8, Prost on 7, and Force India on 6. Prost, the reigning champion team, not picking up too many points in the first 3 races of the season, and I'm sure Tom Cairns will be very disappointed with the beginning of his season. Well, 3 races in the books already this season, and we now have the first upgrade window of the season. The teams will take the prize money that they have earned from these first 3 races and look into improving their power, their reliability, or their downforce, or any mixture of the 3 as they see fit. So we could potentially see a very different pecking order when we come to the next round in Indianapolis. Until then, thank you so much for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to have your company. Until the next time, I'm Topher Smith. Take care.